when the real world becomes too much, I go into this franchise mode where I am the owner of the Tennessee Titans and we will win championships.
Dude, I'll be at Monk's under the bridge I'm on. Yeah. You kind of sound like a... I just saw the news today. You celebrate Hanukkah?
I do celebrate Hanukkah.
How does Hanukkah work? I'm actually being serious. You're giving me this look right now like I'm fucking with you. But I'm not fucking with you. I honestly, I know there's 12 days.
Not quite. I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shane Newber. And today in the studio, I have comedian host. I mean, you've been hosting some things now as well. And we're going to dive into this whole rabbit hole of Justin Goldberg. Dude, and you share the name of a very famous person right now. Do you know who that is?
Of the very famous person.
Last name. Goldberg. Who's the most famous Goldberg in the world right now?
The Goldberg in the news right now. That's not me?
Yeah, the most famous.
Gosh, I haven't heard about Goldberg, the wrestler, for a long time.
Yeah, you were probably named after him, right?
Absolutely. My grandfather was Bill Goldberg.
Dude, if that is true, man, you're set for life, dude. You got that heavy pocket. Why didn't you bring the fireball here? But actually, I was talking about Joe Goldberg from the show You. It's really popular, kind of like Dexter-y show.
Oh, see, that's cool, but I actually live under a rock when I'm not on stage.
Yeah, and you kind of have a political background on you, too. I mean, whoa, man. Dude, scrolling through your page is like stand up, politics. So vote for somebody named Abby Jean or something like that. Hey, Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, YouTube, all those things. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. They may like it, they may not, but this is just what we are, and this is what we do. And so, let's get started with your stand-up stuff, dude. You have been... And, oh my God, I look over and I see Bob Ross looking at me, and I look at your beautiful hair. Dude, you've got a head of hair. How long has this hair been here? How long have you been doing this?
I really don't have any technique or story. I am the luckiest dude. This is my hair. I have almost no routine. I don't have a stylist. I'm looking for a stylist. If anybody knows what to do with this to keep it like this in the future, talk to me, because it's about to drop to my shoulders and I don't know what to do.
Well, dude, I can tell you the number one thing don't do is the mistake I made. I used to have long, beautiful hair, and I would rock it, I would dye it, I would do all these things. But the problem is I love wearing a hat. And the more and more I wear a hat and the more and more I was stressed out, the more and more my hair started falling out. So yeah, I could get this mullet going out here, but you guys don't want to see the top because it's just creeping its way back. So keep that beautiful. And you're 29?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
And I would like to keep it, but as long as it still stays in fro formation, I feel like even if I have that bald spot, that's at least funny. Yeah. And I can work with that, maybe.
And so, wait, so when it comes to how long you been doing stand-up? Because you're pretty fresh in stand-up, right? Couple years?
Yeah, I've been actually going up on stage a little under 2 years, not including most of 2020. I actually stopped before the pandemic all broke out. I was traveling all around the country, like you said, doing politics. I drank a lot of different colors of Gatorade. I'm done with electoral politics. Yeah. Pretty much. That's all I got to say about it. I played that game, and oh my goodness, what a game that is.
Dude, see, the number one thing that we've always talked about on here is I don't do politics. Number one, I'm not smart enough to do politics. Number two, I don't care. I don't care. My opinion, a lot of people don't like when I say this. My opinion doesn't matter. My opinion's never going to matter because one, I'm not smart enough, and two, I don't know anything about it. Like, there's no the Trump and the Biden. Yeah, dude, all I know is that that's their names. I don't even know what Democrat or Republican means, and I hope it always stays that way.
So you're that famed undecided voter that everybody working in politics wants to talk to because they think they're going to get you to do exactly what they want, but you don't. You just want to live your own life. And what I've realized since I've sort of turned away from that, and when I was involved in politics, it was so much on social media, and especially, of course, with the shutdowns and the pandemic. And I've realized that on Twitter and on Facebook, world scary, fire, everything burned, bad, pull out hair. But then I just walk outside and walk around my neighborhood, and the birds are singing and the kids are playing, and life's not so bad, actually. And a lot of great things have come to me in such a relatively short amount of time since I've just sort of unplugged, and I'm still addicted on Facebook way more than I want to be, but I'm recognizing that the less time I spend on those screens and the more actually walking around out in my neighborhood, the better I feel, and the more I want to go out and do things like put on comedy shows or just hit open mics.
You know, I think that's cool too because you know, with doing stand-up, especially like looking at you, so I was very confused. You know, like I'm going to be honest, as I'm going through looking at your page, I've only known you as a stand-up comedian at shows and making people laugh, but I didn't know that you had this hard political side, so I was like, wow, he's never shown that. Even though you say now, you know, you're unattached from it.
Right, but there's none of that in the dirty, dirty world of politics.
That
you
you're
take
so-
every inch.
Dude, you do. You know, it's like LeBron flopping around, you know, like, dude, we know you weren't fouled, LeBron. Like, dude.
Well, but it's like that happening, but it turns out that there were only 50 fans in the whole stadium, and it was a preseason game. After all, you thought it was for the championship.
Yeah.
Here's what sort of knocked me out. I did like 3 strikes, you're out. I went really hard as a volunteer for 1 presidential campaign, for 1 Senate campaign, and then for 1 mayoral race at the city level.
Yeah, one was, Bernie, right?
I went hard for Bernie. Paula Jean Swearingen
Yeah,
was
that's
a really cool candidate who was running against Shelley Moore Capito, who's the head of the finance committee in the Senate. Her father, Arch Moore, was twice governor of West Virginia, despite being jailed on corruption charges.
Wait, her father's name was Archmore? Mm-hmm. Dude, that dude has a fucking cathedral out in the Netherlands, and he's making so much. If your name is Archmore, dude, come on now. That dude's got more money than he knows what to do with.
Yeah, so we were up against his daughter. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then I did that mayor. Well, okay. If I could talk about election night for a second, just the way the votes came in was really weird. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really weird that candidates spend months and months or years of their time and thousands of dollars to run a race, and then they concede on election night without actually making sure their votes got counted. Like, left and right. So in the lead up to, and I want to get away from this because you're a hilarious dude, and I want to like fuck around.
No, we're gonna get away from it. We're gonna get away from it. But I do want to know a little.
This was too much. I have to share this.
Yeah, I want to know.
So they talked about for weeks and months leading up to the November 2020 elections that we probably would not know the results on election night because of the incredible amount of mail-in votes and same-day voter registration would make it impossible for us to get the tally on election night.
Okay.
Which made sense to me. And then there was all this controversy about, they're going to throw out your mail-in ballots, the votes are in the river, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I believe that if you cast a vote, somebody's trying to count it somewhere. Mm-hmm. But then the results started coming in. Polls close, 8 o'clock Eastern. Polls close. Within an hour, the Associated Press, who is worldwide news, they're accepted anywhere as fact, they called the race for our opponent with 0% of precincts reporting. So they said, we don't have any votes tallied, but we're confident that this woman is going to win the race over the other woman. We know that for sure. We're going to project that right now. And once the media calls a race, really difficult to change that narrative, right? Here's where it gets stranger. As votes do start coming and we're getting pummeled. I was on the blue team on that particular time. red counties. Every county, red, 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 red. One county goes blue. New York Times goes blue, Raleigh County, third most populous county in the state. They gave more votes to our candidate than there are registered voters in the county.
Whoa.
So I don't know where these numbers came from, but they are physically impossible.
Well, a lot of people were traveling that day. They were headed to that county to vote.
Yeah, they just happened to stop by Raleigh.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. You know, I think I know we don't. You know, we're gonna get out of here, but the Electoral College, I just think like that type of stuff. It's so weird, man. It should be. If we as a nation all are voting for one person, you won the most amount of votes, you should win. And I don't know much, but I think that if we want to say that every individual vote counts, then that should be the way that the whole thing works. But dude, I do want to talk to you about something because you look like a guy that is in a show that I've been watching. Now,
I have some idea who you might suggest.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But you do. Okay, so I can tell you a couple guys you do look like. Do you want me to start with that?
Well, we already got Bob Ross out of the way.
Bob Ross is one. Okay, so I've got two more. Sorry about the second one. R.I.P. Screech. Like, love ya. And number 3, Lil Dicky, baby. That's my guy, dude. You got that Lil Dicky vibe, and that's one of my favorite. Dude, I've got him all over my playlist. But I do want to say you look like a guy from a show that I've been watching. I've been watching this show called Gigolos. You ever seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's on Showtime. Now I'm like tickled to tell this story on the podcast because if you guys haven't watched Gigolos on Showtime, it is literally porn. It is the most, and when I say porn, like all you ladies out there, hey, if you're listening in Ireland or in the Philippines, you want to see a good penis, these are a group of 5 gigolos, and it's like the Kardashians, like it's like a true story. They're keeping up with the gigolos. Yeah. And it's based around these guys who are at male escorts. And it shows them going out, getting bookings for $2,000 to escort these women for a night or a couple days. And they just go out and bang chicks. And they get mad if they have to bang a fat chick. Or they get mad. Like they did a gang bang. This one rich woman, she wanted all the guys to bang her at one time. And the one guy was like, dude, I don't like looking at dicks. And so like in the show, it was like showing all their dicks and him just horrified. And then he got all moody and it's brilliant. Gigolo's on Showtime. Check it out. There's 6 seasons. I'm on season 2 now. Finished 1 season in 1 day. I watched it yesterday.
All right, I think I have that login handy somewhere, deep in a drawer. At Showtime.
I at least have a password for you if you want to check it out.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know who my favorite juggalo is?
Juggalo or gigolo?
Well, you know.
I didn't know if you're talking about a juggler. Dude, if you
it could be either one.
If you have a name of a favorite juggler, I'm going to be so fucking impressed.
Yeah, anybody who has Insane Clown Posse as part of their juggling act, I guess, would be my favorite juggler.
Wait, who's your favorite gigolo then?
Well, Deuce Bigelow.
Oh, I knew it. And Rob Schneider's a legend, dude. Rob Schneider's roles. Wait, wasn't Deuce Bigelow? Wait, no. I was thinking of. Wait, is Deuce Bigelow Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
You know what Schneider just did to me?
What did he do?
On Hanukkah.
What did he do?
I just put on this past weekend my first comedy show. I produced and hosted.
Yes, I
at
know.
Seven Hills Brewery up in Dubuque.
I was getting ready. Beautiful venue, by the way.
Rob Schneider, it is a great venue. I love that
Showed
room.
up?
Rob Schneider rescheduled his show at the casino to that night. So I went up, Goldberg went up against Rob Schneider first night.
And who won?
I didn't actually get a head count for Schneider, but I think Deuce Bigelow took it.
What about the mail-in votes?
It never mattered in the first place.
They haven't come in.
Yeah, you voted by mail, you sucker. They're in the river.
Dude. I mean, I'm always been a Rob Schneider fan, though, dude. That guy is, oh my God, the hot chick. Oh, brilliant work. And so wait, he put on a show like in the same area?
It was at the Diamond Joe Casino. He did 2 shows. So Comedy Bar was wiped out. We were wiped out, and it was the Hawkeyes game in the championship.
Yeah, I know, because I did a show that night too.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. We both had James on.
Yeah, we both borrowed him. Well, I didn't borrow him. I was just booked for the same show. Yeah, you messaged me. You were like, wait, why is James booked for the same show you're doing? I was like, dude, I don't know. Don't ask me.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, this is my first time. I know that everything's not going to go perfect, but did my headliner actually forget that he's playing my show?
Dude, it was so awesome, and I want to give a shout out. I was actually going to use this koozie on my fireball down here, but I want to give a shout out to James Draper because he's killing it, man. And dude, he did his set, and he stuck around for mine, man. I was really that tickled me when he was like, "Well, I really wanted to see what you're going to come out with next because I'm like fucking crazy with my weird stand-up. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about." But it really made me feel well when I walked off and he was like, "I took a bunch of pictures of you," and I don't know, it made me feel nice. It made me feel good. It tickled my little warm heart.
Yeah, I absolutely have loved every interaction I've had with Mr. Draper since I got here. I first met him at Speakeasy. That was only the second time that I got up, I think, after moving to Dubuque.
Where did you come from?
Chicago area.
Ooh.
I'm close enough to Chicago that I can't just say Chicago.
Yeah.
They'll shoot me.
Yeah, you're an outsider.
Yeah.
Wait, is it a city slicker?
Well, out in West by God, Virginia, I'm a flatlander. But no, I'm just a, I don't know, preppy suburban kid.
So you said that you celebrate Hanukkah?
I do celebrate Hanukkah.
How does Hanukkah work? I'm actually being serious. You're giving me this look right now like I'm fucking with you. But I'm not fucking with you. I honestly, I know there's 12 days.
Not quite. There's 12 days of Christmas or 12 nights, which I don't get because there's one day, really.
There's only one.
I'm going to turn it back on you. What's with the 12 days of Christmas? Where did that come from?
I don't know what it is, so no, you can't.
There's the song, on the first night of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Well, I think that was just a romantic guy that just wanted to, he was trying to get pussy every day for 12 days, dude. Okay. And that's
Same thing with Hanukkah.
Have you ever had intercourse 12 days in a row?
Probably. I would lose count at that point because I would be smoking a lot of weed to keep fucking that much.
Yeah, dude. Not if you're in Iowa, dude. Jesus Christ.
I almost forgot. Ooh, that mic picks up.
We can maybe dive into your archery a little bit.
My archery, huh?
I've seen you pulling back your bow.
That was just a way to blow off steam during that ridiculous last election. Honestly, we would wake up early. That was the longest weeks that I've ever worked. I was this social media director, assistant, whatever, and it was mind-numbing. So we would go out early in the morning, and in the middle of this forest, there's an archery range. And behind the targets is a rusty gas main.
Oh,
so we're shooting arrows. Metal-tipped arrows.
Damn, dude.
And there's just this almost like
just death behind you.
But somehow still active gas line.
Dude. Hey, sometimes you got to take a little chance on some things, You got to risk it for the biscuit, Daddy.
Yeah, what I learned out in West Virginia is that everything was designed by Cousin Leon.
Yeah.
He might not get the job done right, but he'll get it done.
Oh, yeah. Dude, a little duct tape and a little elbow grease will go a long way out here, baby.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Have you ever been out there?
No.
It is absolutely gorgeous. I love trees. Everything about that. I am a literal tree hugger. Mm-hmm. I will hug a beautiful tree, and it feels great. In West Virginia, you're up in the Appalachian Mountains. You cannot see the face of the mountains. It's all covered in trees. Yeah. Every highway mile. Just trees, except on those bends where they just blew the entire top off the mountain and put a Walmart on top of it when they were done.
Dude, that is actually... So you take something so beautiful and then... Here's a Walmart. So Leslie Mitchell was on the podcast. You know Leslie.
Love Leslie.
Leslie said to me, and it blew my fucking mind, that when you are at the pyramids in Giza, here's the pyramids, and right behind you, do you know what there is? Not even a block away. It's literally right across the street. Here's the pyramids. You turn around, what's behind you?
Oh my God, that's a Walmart.
It's a Pizza Hut.
A Pizza Hut.
What the fuck? Dude, just a Pizza Hut. Go get yourself some cheese sticks. Oh man, dude. And you know what? It is hard to go wrong with Pizza Hut. You know, all these other pizza places, they've been drugged through the dirt. Papa John's has been known for having bugs in their pizza. You know, Papa John, what did he get in trouble for? What did he say? Some racist shit or something like that?
It was racist and or homophobic. I don't remember why he
Both equally as bad.
came out as being. It became known that he's a bigot. That's what happened.
And then you got Little Caesar. He's just can you ever update the guy? Like, dude, I mean, he's always just been this little caveman, dude.
I feel like Little Caesars is a secret that was kept from me as a kid because everybody knew about Little Caesars except for me. When I learned that you could get a $5 hot and ready pizza, I'm like, what the? I should be 300 pounds right now.
And a solid pizza at that. Little Caesars is not, they're not trying, like, you know, they're like, hey, we're the middle ground between maybe Tombstone and a Pizza Hut. We're that middle ground.
I buy that. So I'm a big road tripper.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that I can get something that will make my car smell good,
yes,
that I can eat without refrigerating for 36 hours, I know people who will do 46, yeah. 30, or 48, 72.
Yeah. Or 70.
Yeah, however long you got to go. But yeah, I'll bring some Little Caesars action in.
What would you say is your favorite road trip snack? You're going to reach over, and I've got a bag of something or a plate of something sitting right on the top of my penis. What are you reaching over in the passenger seat and grabbing?
I'm not going to change my answer because your penis is involved, but I'm more enthusiastic about it now.
It's just underneath it. It's just holding it up.
So I started buying pies at Quick Trip.
Okay. Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is actually something that I wanted. Quick Trip is something I want to talk to you about.
Please.
Okay. No.
Because they have pies, and how when I'm hungry after an open mic 80 miles from home, am I not going to get that $7 caramel apple crumble pie? How am I not?
Well, I've been an advocate about KFC chicken. You know, like, I know that there's some good chicken, but there's never chicken that makes you go, let me close my eyes and think about what's the best kind of chicken, and it's KFC. But, dude, you hit that Quick Trip KFC, dude, and it is a step below. It is like missing the one of the 11 ingredients, dude. It's like, it is such good chicken. You know what I'm talking about? You've had their chicken, right?
I've had the chicken, but I think I've been drowning it in too much sauce because I'm not getting all these nuanced spices.
Oh, man. I went to that bougie-ass Quick Trip, baby. Dude.
No, I'm always at the Macoka to Quick Trip. There's two of them.
You go to the caves much?
I've been to the caves once. I have plans to go back better prepared for those crawly ones.
Oh, dude. Can you believe that people... Well, that was a little bit pedo-ish.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as there's no bad intent.
Yeah, you know, just nice uncles. We're just trying to buy gifts for our uncles.
Like, it's not... No, I can't even say that out loud.
Moving
on.
On to the next step.
Nah, you know who's killing it right now?
Who?
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon.
You a fan?
Okay, yes. But I do just wonder if he's actually gay or not.
Did you see that he just put up? He's in that giant bright yellow tracksuit with the giant gold.
I'm an avid listener and follower, yes.
That makes me think yes, but also maybe more of just like a pansexual.
You know what?
Let's do this.
I could, after getting to know you a little bit more now, I could see how you would be a Tim Dillon fan. Tim Dillon's a very political guy. And he also is a very level-headed guy. And I do think that about you as well. So I could see how you guys would correlate. I'm a dumb guy. I'm a Bobby Lee, Theo Vaughn. We're just I'm going to use the R word and I'm going to bleep it out here. So I'm going to put my hand up. I'm a retarded guy. No one knows what I said. Maybe I'll even blur my mouth on this edit. I'm going to spend some time. I took a vacation day Friday to edit this.
That reminds me, you ever watch Craig Ferguson on The Late Late Show?
I've never actually watched a late night television or talk shows. Yeah, never once.
I was never a huge fan. Like when I was really young, my parents always had Leno on The Tonight Show, and I liked some of his gags. Jaywalking is fun when he makes Americans look stupid on camera. That's always fun. But Craig Ferguson, my dad would watch, and I was so annoyed by him for the first month. And I'm like, why would you even watch this? It's the same jokes over and over. And then as I kept seeing it, I'm like, wait, it's the same jokes over and over, but they're new every night somehow. Whoa, Craig Ferguson is doing something incredible here. And yeah, there are nights when you're on at that, second late night slot, you're just filling time. That is your job.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of times where he's it seems like nonsense, but if you actually tune in, I guess there's a method to the madness. Mm-hmm. And he's got a fantastic autobiography, Riding the Elephant.
Is it a book? Or it's not a documentary, right? It's
a physical book.
Okay.
You have to use your eyeballs.
Like I'm not a big fan of the ebook. Cool concept to read and understand, and that's kind of what I get to do down here too, like with the podcast. Yeah, like there's a lot of guys that, come on the podcast. I look into their eyes and we sit down here and we talk for an hour and then I just go suck the fuck out of their dick. Dude, just fill me up with all your kids, dude. Like, let me just find out which ones, find my ovaries, which ones find my seeds. And so far there's been none, but there's been a couple close contestants.
You didn't tie your tubes?
No, not yet. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the right one. Todd Wilhite tried. Todd Wilhite, he broke my rule because over the past year we've been on the 1 hour rule, and Todd Wilhite wanted to fight with me for an hour straight, and I just wanted to fight with him for an hour more. So we went for 2 hours.
That's good. There's been one time in my life where I was actively hoping that I was the father of a child. And it was about 12 hours after I lost my virginity.
Yeah, that one person.
So here's the catch.
You banged a teacher, huh?
Well, no. I banged this evangelical chick. It took 9 months.
Wait, what does evangelical mean? I'm very dumb.
Evangelical, like fundamentalist Christian, believes that if you don't convert to exactly their kind of it right now, you're going to burn in hell forever, and they'll tell you about it.
Yeah, it sounds dark.
But, not all
Handcuffs
evangelicals, but a lot of the, like stereotypes, a lot of them are born out of some kind of truth, because how else would they exist, right?
Oh, it's very true.
So to be an evangelist is to be really, 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 really pushy about your ideas being right.
Yeah.
So I dated a girl whose father was pretty involved in the church like this. So like I said, 9 months later, after we started dating, there was no pregnancy. It took this long to, get to that.
It took 9 months to figure it out.
I think like 7 months in, I took her up to Milwaukee. We went to the zoo. And when we got back to when we got back to the hotel, there was a nun convention at our hotel. We get into the elevator and we're holding hands. Me and this girl were both 18, 17, 18.
Pretty dark shit.
Yeah, it took me a little while, but it was worth it.
Some pretty filthy shit you guys got going on.
There was one nun with us in the elevator, and she just looks at us holding hands, and she goes, "I'll pray for you, children." And there was no banging to be had that night, believe it or not.
Well, I can say that there should have been.
There should have been, but
that
2
nun
months
deserved
later,
it.
2 months later, it finally happened. Her parents took the vacation, right?
Oh, they were at the nun convention.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys were in the bed.
We had the bed, yes. And the next morning, everything went great. All 38 seconds went great. The following morning, I was feeling a bit like this when we heard somebody shouting next door. And this man was an angry man. Angry, disabled veteran. He could still walk, but he walked with a bad
Lieutenant
limp.
Dan. Oh, no, Lieutenant Dan.
Well, no wheelchair.
No.
He's got a cane.
Lieutenant Dan couldn't.
And it sounded this particular morning, we were woken up to the sound. It sounded like he was beating the shit out of somebody in his house for at least a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So we decided, let's call the authorities. Like, I'm not one to get involved in other people's, but when I think somebody is gonna be bleeding out in the house next door, I'm like, maybe you should come check this out. Mm-hmm. So the local suburban police sent one car, And as soon as the one officer showed up, this dude busts out his front door and he starts shouting at her, "Oh, I can't believe you come at me. I'm going to kill you." Like, immediately threatening her life.
Instantly, you know that
So
you
she
made
calls
the
for
right move. Yeah.
backup. And as backup arrives and guns start getting drawn, we decide, instead of rational thinking adult brain, let's go to the basement, which we have because we're in the suburbs.
Yeah, yep.
We're like, well, she was like, "Hey, let's go to the church across the street. We can leave through the backyard."
Yeah, yeah.
And in order to get to the church, it's just one simple obstacle.
Here's
Just
the
a
church,
6 foot
here's
tall.
the steeple, open up, see all the people.
Well, we already did that last night. That's the thing. Like, I finally got my rocks off.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great. But now there's one obstacle. It's a 6 foot tall wooden fence.
Yeah.
And I got up to the top of the fence fine. The problem is when I got there, it gave way, and I ended up straddling this thing like a balance beam act gone wrong.
Please tell me you're the second person on this podcast to lose a testicle.
Well, I don't remember the next 3 to 5 seconds. I do remember opening my eyes, being on the correct side of the fence. She's telling me, come on,
Do
we
you
gotta
have
go
ball
to the church. Well, after the ultrasound on my ball sack, which was the size of a grapefruit, I do in fact have both of my testicles
fuck
remaining.
yeah, thank God, Daddy.
However, I never got a fertility count, so there's that off chance that my vas deferens, that's the, little super highway for the, that may be all sorts of mangled, and I may be shooting blanks this whole time. I should find out, because condoms suck.
Well, dude, you know what I gotta say is, that was brave of you to tell that story. It was brave. It took a lot of nuts.
Yeah, I've got both of them. But when I wasn't sure, when I was waiting for the results of that ultrasound, and I thought they may be gone, I said, please, I used protection, but somehow let that little lovemaking session last night, let that bring me my son. Let me bring that my child.
You wanted
Because
it.
this might be my only shot.
But you're not with her anymore.
Not even close.
Dude, listen, I can tell you that's a tough world to live in. You don't need to live in that one, Daddy. Dude, you've got the whole world. You got that other nut that's still really just fucking pushing that shit forward. You're going to be A-okay. And even, you know what? Even if you're not, listen, if you're shooting a blank, if there's no brothers and sisters in there, dude, all I gotta say is there's an adoption agency that This Is Us is ready to teach you everything they got to offer. Dude, there's kids out there just waiting to, dude, have you as a dad.
I love the idea of adoption.
You
in
love
general.
kids? Do you love kids?
I like kids a lot.
I'm a big adoption fan. That was actually the only route that I ever thought I was gonna take. I married a woman with 3 daughters, and I love them all. I actually adopted the oldest. And if I could adopt the other 2, I would, because I just love and adore them. And I said that if we ever decide to do anything else, I just want to. There's just so many kids. That's why we do a lot of stuff to just, we do a lot of, like we did last year, we did this Thanksgiving Shot 30, and where we got donations. We got like $2,000 worth of donations. And we just put it all together, and we took it to Humility of Mary, and we took it to all these places to give to these kids that don't have anything. Because when you think about it, man, these kids just wait for something. And a coloring book, in a kid who has nothing, a coloring book means everything. And it breaks my heart because, like, I grew up with no money, yeah, I grew up with parents, but I had to get shoes from Goodwill, like I didn't have that type of thing. And I also know a lot of people who have been adopted, and they spend all this time in their life wondering and wishing all these things. And, like, dude, you can make a whole kid's life by just buying them a fucking candy bar. Like, it's a beautiful thing. And to think that you can bring a kid into your house, I would promote adoption to any human being who's ever walked this planet, because it's not just rewarding for you. It's not you guys had a kid. It is you have a kid, and that kid adores you because that kid doesn't have anything. You saved a kid's life. Like kind of like adopting a dog. It's very similar. That, especially one that gets thrown on the side of the street. That's all of our dogs that we've had have been thrown to the side of the street. And it feels rewarding.
Yeah, I look up to that. There are a lot of lives that need some help, and it sounds like you're doing your part.
I don't know if we're doing our part, but you know what? If I ever decide, after living in a house with 3 daughters and a wife, Jesus Christ, the tampons. It's just tampons. I go to eat fucking cereal and I'm scooping it in my mouth. I'm like, what? That's not a spoon? Like
Tampons can be fun, though. That was the only thing that was fun to do at the mall near where I grew up. We went to the family restroom.
So excited for what's about to be said.
Well, you could buy a tampon for $0.25 in the family restroom.
Okay.
And we had leftover quarters from our movie tickets or whatever.
Yes.
So we would just wet those real nice and push them up on top of the ceiling.
Yeah.
And now there's just all their little tails hanging out.
Oh, dude.
And it took them about 6-8 months to realize what we were doing. So we got at least 40-50 up there.
I've been just as shady. So we had a gumball machine at the family video that was across the street from where I lived. We didn't have much money, but if me and 3 friends both, like if we all got a quarter, we could all put that quarter together, go to, what was it called? Wonder Bread, buy a bag of gumballs, and then have all the colors. Go to Family Video where they had the gumball machine. If you get that color, you get a free game or movie. So we would have them all. And we'd pretend put a quarter in the machine and then pull out the right gumball. And then just so happens all of us pulled it out. And then, it took me a while to realize the woman knew we were all broke kids. She was just like, you dumb idiots. It's pretty smart what you guys did. And just went with the fact that we got free games and movies. But it was fun for us, we didn't have shit. So it was fun to be able to do that. Now, and not growing up as a kid, not having money or being able to do shit. Now I've got money and I'm buying Bob Ross bottles, and I bought a fucking, Planet of the Apes, from the 2001 Mark Wahlberg movie, Planet of the Apes. I bought one of the characters' feet and the outfit. I have an ape outfit in my fucking closet. I'm never going to do anything with it. But now I'm like, dude, look, I can buy shit. This is cool. I'm adult. I'm a grown-up. I can do whatever I want now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm such a Jew. I'm like, you're buying toys when you could be buying cryptocurrency right now?
Do you have any crypto stuff?
I have a crypto portfolio. I was sort of late to the game, but I think that I'm still early, and there's still places to be early.
I don't even understand it.
Neither do I.
Okay. That's even better. Dude, you got that. You're just sitting on, you're like a guy who's just been sitting on a fucking pile of gold. It's right underneath your ass. You just nest on it. You're like, I don't know what this shit is, but it's worth something.
So I don't pretend to really understand this world anymore. I thought I did. One of the reasons that I originally really started telling jokes is because I thought I was right and everybody else just needed to hear me, like that evangelical.
Oh, so you didn't start. Oh, this is fucking hilarious.
I mean, also because I like talking to strangers and I like being the center of attention, and I gotten people to laugh at me. But yeah, I had a political agenda, but like you mentioned, you haven't really seen me do a lot of political jokes.
Uh-huh.
I think that a big reason is because I don't want to really take any hard stances publicly right now because I'm in such a period of transition. I don't know what I really believe. Mm-hmm. I hate labels. I know this. I'll say this on the record. I was just trying to pull Bernie Sanders to the left, and I know I'm not doing that anymore. Now I don't know where the hell I am. I know that it has nothing to do with trying to track down people's votes or dollars for them to mark a ballot on a November Tuesday. I'm over that. I'm looking around at the people around me, at my community, at restaurants, at theaters, anywhere with a stage. Let's create event spaces, places where we can socialize face to face, not screen to screen.
Is that what? So, is that what brought you? So that is really what brought you to stand-up comedy, then?
Telling the truth, speaking truth to power.
I want to ask you a question. I don't know why this just popped into my mind, but I really like the way that you're just, I don't know, we're just kind of broing out about dumb thoughts, do you get sad? Why are you sad? Okay, so if you have a bad set, it's doing stand-up. Let's say it just didn't go, no one laughed, or small crowd, and you just feel sad. Why are you sad?
So, I think my arrogance is going to show here. or whatever it might
No,
be
just say
called.
whatever you want, dude. We're
I-
we're almost done with the podcast, and like people who are still listening, I always say this shout out, leave a comment down below, and thank you guys for being here as always.
I've never been disappointed in one of my sets so far. I've been glad every time. I've lost count. It's probably in the 200 ballpark times I've gone up to tell jokes. I've been glad I did it every time. Even if it didn't work, I was excited that I went and just got to the end. I've never given up on a set. I've always gone out there and did what I wanted to at the end. And where I get sad is when I look at just my lack of motivation or prioritizing taking the time to go back and rewrite those jokes and try and improve them. I try and get audio of myself every time I go up,
Smart move.
but it's sort of piling up without me actually utilizing it. So that's when I get sad, when I look at all this time that I've put in where I'm sort of falling behind on that fine-tuning and going back and reworking.
But you've got all the time in the world too. Like you got to think, you're 29, I'm 30, dude. We're babies in this little world, man. Stand-up comedy is not a young world. You can take a few people in there like Pete Davidson and Donald Glover, and you talk about old comics like Freddie Prinze, and you get guys who made it at a very young age with stand-up. Dude, stand-up is something that I truly believe you have to live a fucked up life and you have to be a part of fucked up things to be funny. Because if you go up there telling me about how fucking rich you are and how your parents have always had all this, you could make me laugh if you got to be very creative. But I like people who are fucked up. I like people who have been through fucking hell and back. And so that is what's funny to me. But I think, so if I go up on and do a set, I could agree with you. I've never been sad about making, doing a set, but I do get sad that when people leave not laughing or like they didn't understand or, it makes me sad. I thought about it for a while. I was like, is it my self-confidence or my self-issues or me being arrogant or me wanting to be so good or thinking that I'm good at stand-up? Or is it the fact that I'm sad that I'm standing up here doing jokes for you and you're not laughing? Like, I think I truly believe that I look at the crowd, and if the crowd doesn't love it the way I want them to, like you get those highs of the high, I want everybody to laugh like that. I want them to be laughing so hard, and because I feel like people deserve that, man. I feel like life is so fucking tough and so fucking hard, and people show up to a stand-up show because, man, they want to laugh like that. You're going to get the people who are, well, I fucking hate everything that guy said, or that was disgusting, or that was gross. I didn't like. Yeah, you're going to get those people. But, man, like, when you feel like you're funny or you feel like you got a good joke, you just want to make those people happy when you tell a joke. You don't tell a joke to make yourself laugh. You already know the joke you're going to say,
Yeah, absolutely. Damn, I need more punchlines. If I were going to write a book about myself at this point, it would be called "This is a Premise, Not a Punchline."
I mean, it would work, but dude, like you too are like you're just molding and developing and you're changing. You're in a whole world of change, dude. It was a year and a half ago. Here, your whole life seemed like it was politics, and I know that because I went back and saw that was your life.
Yeah, I literally felt I was on a mission to save the world. And I still feel that way, but just instead of actually looking at billions of people, I'm looking at the people that I know and can actually see in front of me.
And you know what? And when you did that little lean back, I just thought of another one. You look like the Sadhu guy when he had that. Have you ever been told that one?
No.
Dude, you know what I'm talking about? Sadhu. 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 Maybe it's our eyes that's doing that to me. Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm having a blast with you. I feel like we could call this Shot 30 Elevation 3,200. We could go, yeah, we could call it something like that. It's a little play on words. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
We got
Oh my gosh. Dude, you drove a fucking far-ass way to get to this fucking shithole of a podcast. I thought you had fucking stand-up to do, so now I feel
We're
bad.
out here, yeah. No, I did. That was me miscounting weeks. You would think that I would be able to count. Not the case.
We don't necessarily need to count. You know, counting is for accountants.
Which is my entire family.
Well,
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh,
A couple, probably.
yeah, my family members are dumb as shit. I got one family member who's pretty good at math, and then I would say the rest, well, they're all unemployed. Yeah, so they're dumb, you know? But, dude, that's kind of with the whole conversation, you know. So, I'm one class away from getting my fucking degree, and I'm getting it for free, and I'm fucking stoked. And so, like, you know, the world is so weird when it comes to education and degrees and all this stuff, because here you could be the smartest mathematician that's ever lived. And someone would be like, no, you know, like, dude, you don't have a 4-year degree at Harvard and then you double majored in, I don't know, something other smart, like something others, yeah, some other thing that's smart.
Right.
But like, we base so many things off when we talk about stereotypes, dude, that like, the education is a stereotype too, because there's so many brilliant minds that go to waste, you know?
Well, there's no way to avoid a political lens on this. Andrew Yang ran for president and then ran for mayor of New York. And I disagree with Andrew Yang about a lot, but one area where I absolutely adore the language, the rhetoric of Andrew Yang is talking about where the efforts of our brightest young minds are going. He talks about specifically engineers, computer engineers, programmers, and how many of our most brilliant young minds are focused on developing gambling apps that are
Yes.
games for children with loot boxes, and just otherwise addicting mechanisms.
Yeah,
What he
because
called
they're
them,
smart.
right? So they're smart enough, and they know enough now in general about human psychology that you can design apps where it is impossible to get off. Statistically, you're gonna be hooked.
Farmville.
He calls that right. So he calls them. Andrew Yang says, our brightest young minds are developing dopamine delivery devices. And that's what they are. And why would you put down your phone? I find myself, I know it's time to go to bed. I know just looking at the light from the screen is bad for me, let alone the stimulating thought. And yet, I'll close an app, open another app, close that app, go back to the first app.
Yes, yeah. And get mad. Get mad at something you see or read or some game that pissed you off or somebody didn't, you know, oh wow, that person said they were going to trade me 2 bales of hay today for Farmville or some whatever the fucking shit is going on. But we get mad over something that's inanimate. You know, it almost correlates so hard what you say to. I was talking to Timmery the other day, and I was like, dude, can you believe I bought this game on PlayStation? And she goes, well, you like the game. And I was like, I bought something that technically doesn't exist. I bought it online, so I get this invisible game that there is nothing. How much? This cost me $70, something that is the same as nothing. You know, I bought this game that I can't hold in my hand. I can look at it on the TV, and yes, I enjoy playing the game, but at the end of the day, I bought nothing.
Yeah, I love your fascination with this because I am so, I don't know, I am intrigued and also put off by that non-tangential nature of our video games. Now, I would say always, I want the physical disc. I want the physical copy of the disc. I want
Yes.
to own that. And when I sort of stopped keeping up with the latest video games was around the PS4, Xbox One, I guess, when I feel like most game companies stopped releasing fully complete games at launch and they started to expect everybody to be the beta tester after paying full price because they're talking about it online on forums. They get free labor from us.
And you don't have to make anything.
Yeah.
It's just the software.
And then once I always just played mostly sports and racing games, and all the sports games went to those collecting cards modes. And I was always a big franchise guy, and as soon as they started doing the cards, they just gave up on everything. Do you know what I've been doing to sort of escape when I do still read the news and I stay involved a little bit politically because I feel like I'm obligated to. Things move so fast that if I don't keep one eye on it, I'm just going to lose all context and I will not understand our world like at all. But when it just becomes too much, I throw up the GameCube. I got it for $2. Shout out to Video Games Etc.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
I got it for $2 and I've played it for like 2,000 hours. Madden 2004. I'm playing my Titans franchise.
Michael Vick on the cover, dude.
Yes.
I am all on. I am all aboard, baby.
I just won 2 important divisional games in a row. I'm going to brag about this. In the year 2016, which means that it is my 14th season in the franchise. I have 4 titles, including last year. 5 of my starters retired, and I could just get so deep into this. I could talk to you about this for the next 3 hours because this is when the real world becomes too much. I go into this franchise mode where I am the owner of the Tennessee Titans and we will win championships.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. Because I can tell you too, like, so when like MLB The Show came out on PSP, so I had it on PSP, dude, and I would literally, okay, so actually.
Road to the Show?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm only a Road to the Show guy. Yeah, dude. Are we like Will Ferrell and
John C. Reilly
right now? Fuck yeah, we are, dude. Because I wanted to be the NFL's greatest running back that's ever lived. And so I'm not skipping out on games, dude. I'm playing every single game of the season. You know, okay,
Wait, you wanted to be the greatest running back in MLB The Show?
Wait. Yes, I did make a mistake there. So when I got right back to 2004 Madden with Michael Vick. I did that with Madden and then MLB. So MLB Road to the Show. I wanted to be the greatest home run hitter, but I also didn't mind changing the sliders so I could run a little bit faster, have an inside the park home run, even though it's. Should be a double.
Oh, you're tweaking the sliders. You're tweaking the sliders. Oh, you're a juicer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're juicing your steroids.
I have a very solid history in the steroid era.
Now, I can't say that I haven't been tweaking the sliders in my franchise, but it's a very calculated tweak, not jacking it up.
You don't want it to look like I threw 150 touchdown passes that season. You want it to look like I earned those 70.
I wish that I could say this was the last time I got seriously sucked into a video game before Madden, but it was 2 times ago because Rocket League came out, and Rocket League was everything I ever wanted in a video game. Right at the point where I was ready to give up video games because it was just taking too much of my time, and because it's a cycle with weed. If I play video games, I'm gonna get high. If I get high, I'm gonna play video games. And there goes my night.
Yeah.
And then Rocket League came out, and I'm like, wait, I am the athlete. If I missed the shot wide, it's not because I didn't hold a button the right amount of time. It's because I wasn't in the correct position. Wait, this feedback means something?
Dude.
And so I played Rocket League for the next year straight.
Dude, I would guarantee you loved the Wii, when the original Wii, the bowling.
The Wii Sports, yes, the bowling was great, golf.
I knew what we was doing. I'm locked in on you, Daddy, right now. Dude. Did you ever play this game? Now, when I think back to this game, I'm like, woof, man, this was pretty aggressive. But I played a game called Blitz the League.
I know the league. Blitz the League was cool. My friend had it, but I was hardcore NFL Blitz 2000, straight up on the N64.
Oh, dude, I mean,
who's your squad?
Dude, if you want to go plug in the N64 right now.
If you want to lose on N64.
All I'm going to do is I'm going to race you in Mario Kart because I still...
Oh, well, then I'll lose.
I still hold. I think I'm sitting at like fourth place in the fastest N64 Mario Kart at Moo Moo Meadows.
If I wanted to be made toast, I could have stayed home and plugged myself in the bathtub.
I made it.
NFL Blitz, though.
Yeah, okay, Dad. Wait, let me say real quick. I did make that up about the Mario Kart thing. I just had so many friends that I've pissed off by saying that because we have these parties and I always win and I always tell them that. So I do need to admit, yeah, I lied. I'm a fucking liar. I'm a fraud. But if you're sitting here at over an hour, dude, I just want to say, let's talk about Blitz, NFL Blitz, baby.
No, NFL Blitz, the league was the one where it would give you the option, like they're going to be injured for 2 weeks, or you can give them this illegal injection and they'll be back in 3 plays.
But then you let them get to go to like the strip club and shit too, and it was like rub on boobs or go back and heal up for the night. And you're like, dude, rub on boobs.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Dude, I remember. So, dude, the day I brought home that game, I got it from some 17-year-old dude in the high school. I was in 6th grade, and I put it in my pants. Oh, I was younger than I think. Maybe younger, but I put it in my pants on my butt cheek. And like,
Yeah, we're about the same age. That came out when we were like 14, 15.
Oh, was it?
I think.
Yeah, okay, so I'm a year older. See, okay, yeah, it would have been. I think maybe junior high because I was old and I wasn't a bad kid. I'd get the shit beat out of me if I did something wrong. So I think I was too scared then. But like 7th, 8th grade, that's when I started sending them email nudes out. You know, I found them email girlfriends and.
That's funny. That's the same time that they figured out in the rich suburb I grew up in.
Dude, I remember I used to take my nudes on a fucking floppy camera. Where you had to take a digital camera, take a fucking nude, pull out the floppy disk, then plug in the floppy disk, log into your email, wait for it to process. Put the floppy disk in the computer, upload it, pick which dick pic looks the best, then slide and drop it into the email. Dude, it was the most painful time for nudes, man.
Oh, dude. I already told you about my first time having real sex. I think I just remembered my first time having cyber sex.
Yeah.
Remember the chat rooms?
Yeah.
ASL. ASL.
AOL.
AOL.
Wait, what was it? ASL was the
age, sex, location. Yeah. Where you at? And once it's on, like she says F, it doesn't matter what the age or location was. I got a boner. Yeah. That's an F on the other side.
That was a different time era, Daddy.
Yeah. Now you couldn't do ASL. Now it'd be like T, 4, M, F. Like, but which part of the? There's too many letters in the ASL.
Our first question is. Send us a picture of your driver's license now. Yeah. Please confirm. And then send me at least 32 pictures of yourself. Then I'm going to correlate it to your driver's license. But then you're like, hey, do something specific. Like, do the OK sign in a yellow shirt with a middle finger in your left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, you are real. That's all we have to do to figure out if somebody's real in today's world.
This came along much later. I feel like this was like reaching back nostalgically for that day. Did you ever go on Omegle? Talk to strangers?
No, yeah, Omegle, I don't know if it's a new thing. I've heard that it's been around for a while now.
Well, it's been around at least 10, 12 years. Yeah. But it came along like way after like AOL and Messenger and stuff like that.
It's popular now.
So I know it's still running, and they added a few years ago, maybe many years ago now, video chat. But then there's like the video chat where you have to say like I'll play by the rules, and then there's the uncensored video chat.
I'm getting dirty tonight.
And it's just dirty tighty whities. That's the whole website is brown/yellow. Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like that's the weirdest thing I've ever done on this show before.
Well, now I feel like they need to get some invention where you can actually get the musk.
If you guys want to, anybody out there, I know we have listeners in the Philippines, the Bahamas. We were actually the #1 comedy podcast in those two countries for the longest time.
#1. Did you have Mike Adrales on?
No, he's too busy eating dog. Actually, Mike Andrales said that. How many viewers you get? When I invited him, and I was like, we'll get, like on the podcast apps, we'll get a couple thousand. YouTube, we get a couple hundred. He goes, that's not enough. And that was just the end of the fucking conversation, dude. And now Timmery said, the last time Timmery saw him, she said, "Hey, Mike, Shane's podcast is doing well." And then he goes, "Yeah, I kind of want to be on it now." And then Timmery said, "Well, you need to get your green card first." And then that was it. She told Mike and Dross he needed to get his green card to come on the podcast. And I was dead. So, Mike,
I'm going to fight him.
You want to fight him?
We're going to fight. It's going to happen. It has to happen.
You have an issue with him?
No, I love Mike, but we have to fight.
Well, you guys should do it at Minot.
Yeah. It doesn't have to just be a one-time thing.
Well, I don't feel like Mike could put up much of a fight. Mike acts like he's this ladies man. He acts like he's this. He acts like he's 5'3", rather than 5 foot. And so I would say that he's gonna lose 99% of the fights.
But I am the 1%.
You think you would lose to Mike? Oh no! So you just want to find out that you'll lose to him?
I need to find out. So
thing?
I've never been in a real fight, and I just feel like Mike Andrales is the perfect matchup. It's a fair matchup. One of us will win, and the winner will be a deserving winner, and it probably won't be me because I lack the experience. But if I can fight, I'll beat his ass.
So it either is so if he beats you, he claims the titleship of Hanukkah. But if you beat him, you own the movie Coco.
And I get to interrupt any of his sets moving forward with the Filipino filibuster.
Oh, God. Dude, I just think Mike and Dross, you suck. So, dude,
fight me.
We can't go much longer, bro, because this is the time where I gotta shut this thing off. You've got to come back, dude. You have got to come back. I hate the fact that we do this hour thing, man. I'm like Todd Will Hiding right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm Todd Will Hiding, where I was like, let's just take it a few more fucking minutes.
Hey, I'll come back, man. I'll come back. I always have something to say. It gets me in trouble. My personal goal at work lately has been to just shut the fuck up. I'm driving to work in the morning. It's like, hey, Justin, just shut the fuck up today. You know what? I start at work at 7 a.m. This morning at 7:45. I looked at my watch. I said, you failed today, Justin. You forgot to shut the fuck up.
Dude, I do the same thing. So that's why we're going to talk for 10 more. we're just going to ride for a bit longer. Dude, no, that is something that I do every day too. I'm like, see, I love people. And that's kind of like a problem that I have, is because I put so much trust and love in people.
And they never give it, they rarely.
I would definitely go. I would definitely go with that, because we've had some people recently, and God, I just love so many people. You want a kiss?
Let's start with a hug.
But if some, hey.
Now you got me feeling like Jerry Seinfeld, and I can't tell if I'm homophobic or not. I might be. I don't know.
Give me a hug, Dad. Dude, but for real, dude, people suck, dude. And that's a common thing. A lot of people that I know, and I'm not talking about myself or my wife or anything. I would say so many people that I know give so much love, and they're just looking for anything back. When you got your best friend, you're checking on them every day. We just had this kid reach out to us about it. You reach out to your friends every day, and you would do anything for them, and then that friend wouldn't even answer a text if you're in your worst moment. That is it's a tough thing that people struggle with. And when you want to give somebody so much, and then you're asking for the smallest thing in return, that already means that friendship is not what you're looking for. You're at this point, you're looking for love, but man, that friendship isn't giving it to you. People go through relationships for so long being like, I want to leave this person. I'm not happy anymore. Like, this isn't fun. This is miserable. But they stay in that relationship just because it's what they've done for the past 3, 4, 5 years, you know?
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that, and I realize that it's tough. But once you have those thoughts that you know that this is not forever, you're really just causing more collateral damage the longer you stay in those kinds of relationships.
And forcing yourself to be there longer and longer.
And it doesn't mean that you have to cut off all ties with that person, but it means you got to change something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've met people who have, like, their relationship, I looked at them at one point in time and then I saw them again. What the hell is this? You know, like, oh my God. And that's communication. That is, fixing things or understanding what people wanted. You know, this person wanted this and you didn't realize it. I even know people who have cheated on each other. And it's because if you cheat on somebody, it means that you are clearly not happy. You know, like, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I did it. Yeah, the person did it for a reason because you fucking suck. Or they suck. Or somebody sucks. And you can figure it out. But if if people don't talk and understand what's going on, that's a problem that we have. We're so afraid of everything, you know, like people are like, you know, like it's like, this has been like a common one I've come up across is like porn. So dude, let's say I'm the woman, you're the man. You watch porn if your woman's not horny. Mm-hmm. Well, you're a horny guy. Like, you know, though, if the woman doesn't understand you're a horny guy and that's something you need to do, it's as easy as saying, like, I only do this just because we're not having sex. Or if it's vice versa, if she's like, listen, you know, like, your dick is 1 inch long. Like, would you just put a dildo in me? She's telling you that because she loves you or wants you to be there. And it's just something that makes her feel better. She's just saying the honest thing. But it's so hard because we think it's a slap in the other person's face all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you want a big dildo in you? Well, that's bigger than mine. But
I think, well, this is my experience, but I think back to the difference between the way people behave online versus in person. Because online, people will say anything. They'll brag about themselves. They'll put up all these pictures. They're just like, yeah, I'm the greatest. But then they'll refuse to have a conversation with you face to face. And that's where I'm trying to live my life, not these digital aliases that we're creating for ourselves. Mm-hmm. I wanted to bring up the documentary earlier from Netflix, The Social Dilemma. Have you seen that one?
Not yet.
They have.
But I will watch it. I've watched everything anybody's ever told me to after.
So The Social Dilemma has, I'm sure you could point out plenty of flaws in the conclusions they draw. But what I loved about it is that they got some really good interviews with influential people from Google, Facebook, Pinterest. And this one interview with a
There's
former
influential
executive.
people on Pinterest, and if there
Sure.
are, how do you know that?
Well, they interviewed, he was a former vice president or something.
Pinterest
From
it?
Pinterest, yeah. Pinterest. It still exists. It's publicly traded. It's
I
a real
see.
company.
I see what you're saying. They interviewed somebody. Dude, remember, I've drank so much.
Okay,
I've drank so
yes.
much.
So these are big shots. These are people who are responsible
from
for
Pinterest.
Yes. So some of these people they interviewed were like marketing VPs. They're responsible for getting the message out.
I thought you were saying Pinterest interviewed someone. That's why I was so confused.
No. So the creators of The Social Dilemma documentary.
Yes.
Are interviewing a former executive from Pinterest.
I'm
and
locked
he
in
gives
now,
this
Daddy.
interview talking about how during the day he would spend his 8, 10, 12 hours coding Pinterest to be as addictive as possible. And then when he would go home at night, he would find himself glued to Pinterest, ignoring his children, even though he's the one who wrote a lot of this code and knows the tricks they're using to keep him involved. He still couldn't turn it off. He had to then code himself a program to lock himself out of Pinterest so that he stopped neglecting his children.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's far beyond what human psychology is equipped to deal with productively. They have us by the balls, Shane. They have us by the balls.
Well, you're not wrong too, because like when I upload let's just say a picture, like a picture of me doing stand up on my Facebook, how many times do I fucking check? How many times do I come back to see how many people have liked that?
And every
commented?
time there's a new notification, you are getting a hit of dopamine. Every single
Bing,
time.
dude, Bing, I'm telling you right now. And on everything, that Bing, your head goes, or your eyes go, or your mind goes. Dude, every single time. Like when I lay in bed, me and Timmy were watching Survivor, or we're watching some gigolos, we're watching something on the TV. Dude, that Bing, it spikes your brain to, who was that? What did they say? Oh, I hope it wasn't bad. Was it good? I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Or, oh my gosh, what if somebody messaged me saying that there was a car accident in the family? Or what if somebody said, oh my God, my husband broke up with me? Dude, it spikes every thought in your mind.
Yep, because it could be anything.
Yes.
From inconsequential joke. It could just be somebody saying LOL.
Yep.
Yeah, or it could be your entire family just died in a plane crash for some reason. It's absolutely insane. The Bing, the notification, the buzz, even if it's not a noise, the buzz, it is a noise. The vibrate, it is a noise. It's haptic on your...
When it's each individual sound for each, like Facebook different, Instagram different, all those things.
Yeah, I'm not nearly as popular as you. This must be even more torturous than I can imagine.
No. Like, I'm like, well, no, you're the most popular guy that's ever looked at me at this very moment.
Yes, that is factually correct. Thank you for sharing these space-time coordinates with me.
But no, when our TikTok went crazy, okay, so we went into a bowling alley, and we walked out the bowling alley, and I had 300,000 notifications, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, and I was so consumed. Dude, like, we've talked about the TikTok when it went crazy on the podcast before, but when I tell you I was so consumed, it was 3 days. Sleep, morning, lunch, dinner, sleep, everything was my TikTok. What are they saying? What is going on? Are they making fun of me? Is this, oh my God, am I blowing up? This is viral. What are they saying now? How many likes is this getting from 12:27 till 12:29? Oh my God, it just jumped 400 views. It just jumped 1,000 views. Like, dude, you get so sucked in, especially when it's like that viral. Like, it makes you think about how some of these big name people are. Like, who do you even think of? I mean, the Mr. Beast, the guy, he has like 50,000 followers on everything he has. It's not on his phone, that's fucking for sure.
Right.
He's not getting a damn notification.
Yep. That was one thing we had to do on the Senate campaign. Our candidate was pretty popular on Twitter because she actually, would say a lot of things that most public figures wouldn't.
Donald Trump, right?
Exactly. And she was in this documentary called Knock Down the House with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Cori Bush, I forget the other woman's name who ran in Las Vegas. And she got sort of some fame from that because Netflix, everybody loves Netflix.
Uh-huh.
So she had like 60-some thousand followers when we got there. We had to wrestle the account away from her because she liked to send out drunk tweets after midnight while running for U.S. Senate.
Still my girl, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh, she's fantastic, especially after midnight. But that's not how you win a Senate race.
I know.
Turns out, didn't matter in the first place. New York Times, AP, they had it decided. It don't matter. This is the last thing I'll say on the voting. This is what knocked me out.
You said that at minute 17. It's an hour and 17.
It was a big part of my life.
I know.
This is what knocked me out. I did that mayoral race, right? And I'm like, the candidate was a friend of a friend. That's how I got tuned into the race. And if he had won, he was going to hire me on his staff. I was going to work for this city. And on one hand, I was kind of bummed because I'm not into like these bureaucratic jobs. On the other hand, I'm like, well, damn, I could make some change here. Let's do it. Went around, busted my ass, on my own dime, sleeping on couches for multiple weeks, trying to get votes. 8% of the city voted in the election for mayor. 8%. You have an election where you get to decide who runs your city.
His house right now.
And it was 8%. And out of the, I don't know, 400 or 500 doors I knocked on, one person invited me into their home. Do you know who it was? It was the
Rob
uncle.
Schneider. Oh.
Not quite. It was the uncle of the incumbent, the current mayor. Invited me in, offered me to smoke some weed with him, offered to sell me some weed.
Damn,
and
dog.
I told him, like, that's awesome, but I got to go talk to more strangers, so I'm not going to get high right now. But you're awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. Dude, it is weird, man. Like, yeah, like, I got elected on the city board.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I showed up there because Timmery's dad wanted to be on the city board. And I got elected and he didn't.
Was you get 5 votes?
I've never talked to anybody in this town. Like, so, whoa, that was a curveball. Like, it's that weird that something, because he cared. It's the same exact thing, even though you take it down to a minuscule level. Her dad cared. I've never been to a city board meeting.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Go to city board. Go to school board. If you want to have some say in your kids, the way that works, go do it. Like, somebody's going to hold that position. Locally, go for it.
Well,
nationally, there's some puppet masters.
Yeah, if you got a puppet master, that's a good one.
Yeah, if you're friends with, should I say his name?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh my God, Tulsi Gabbard.
This is his name joke.
Tulsi Gabbard is drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, she's a babe.
If she could ride me like she rides that surfboard, I would die happy.
I mean, guys, we thought, I almost said Caitlyn Jenner, but Melania Trump. If we thought that Melania Trump was hot, dude, get Tulsi Gabbard in office.
Woo, Tulsi.
Dude, she's got my vote. And Timmery, if you're listening right now, I want to apologize. I think you're beautiful. I think you're just the only person that I've ever thought is even remotely anything above a 1. So, and you're a 10. There's nothing 1 till 10. Just a bunch of losers. But Tulsi Gabbard, she's an 11.
Yeah, you're telling me.
God. Oh Lord, dude, we gotta wrap this thing up, man. We coming in hot. Yeah. Dude, this is one of the funnest fucking podcasts I've ever done.
Hell yeah.
I swear. Do you want anybody to follow you anywhere?
Yeah, let's do the following thing.
Do you want me to put it down below the video
Sure.
so they click you and then they just
100%.
Okay.
You can do the clicks.
Dude, let's do the
The
clicks.
social media, my favorite thing in the world. I'm on Instagram. That's the main one I'm doing. It's Justin Tells Jokes.
Oh, it's not at Bernie?
It's Instagram at Justin Tells Jokes.
That's right.
There's still
baby.
some Bernie stuff on there.
Let's put it on the
Let's see.
screen.
I haven't even begun TikTok yet, but I did claim the handle at Justin Tells Jokes. So follow Justin Tells Jokes on TikTok. I'll make some content at some point.
Or we'll just make TikTok videos together.
Together.
Yeah, that's done deal.
Facebook screwed me over because my page is called Justin Tells Jokes, but they won't let me do / Justin Tells Jokes because I made that my personal page.
Yeah.
And they say blah, blah, blah. And then Twitter, which I'm never on, but maybe I will be again. It's Just Tells Jokes because that's all that fits.
And they're all going to be above the screen. If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, it's on the screen. If you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, YouTube, Justin, dude, this is fucking blast, dude. I mean, we're probably just going to go blow each other, and I'm going to go rub his hair on my pubic hairs.
He only gets to do that after I beat him in NFL Blitz.
Oh my God. This is Shot 30 Podcast. I'm Shane Newbert. That is Justin Goldberg. Hey, if you are in the Illinois, Iowa area, just come to our fucking shows. We're working our best for you.
Yeah, how about every Monday night in Dubuque? We're at Monk's Coffee Bar. That's at 9 o'clock. It's the Cum Show. Comedy Under Monks.
Is that your show?
That is not my show. That show belongs to the Burnt River Dojo, to Dubuque Comedy. It's the coolest room I've ever been in, man. We get to do whatever we want down there at Monk's on Mondays.
Yeah.
The whole staff at the coffee bar, they trust us, so the comics run it. There is no light. There's only a light if you suck.
Oh, okay. Well, looks like next Monday I'll be at Monk's under the bridge I know. Yeah. You kind of sound like a religious soul. The news today. It seems my love is going away.
Yeah, the word. Yeah.
With arms wide open.